Electronics engineering. Is it a path to the future? Or is it another expensive diploma for another hopeless 9 to 5 job that you will probably end up hating? In today's video, we're gonna know whether this path is for you or is it not. So, first of all, we're gonna ask ourselves what is electronic engineering actually is. So, electronics engineering is everything from the phone in your hand to satellites in space. It's about designing circuits and programming their systems. By combining those together, it will enable us to create an invisible force that powers our modern world. And as someone who just finished his professional engineering degree, I can tell you from my journey that I've been through the setbacks, the failures, the late nights, and I've also been through some wins. Yeah, maybe one, two. Okay, we didn't have any wins. Let's rewind back to when I was in high school or after finishing high school. I was building a dropshipping brand and I was working in a $9 an hour job in my village. And I was also doing some boxing and I've actually did some fights along the way. So after finishing high school, I've had like free 3 months where I can work, do anything before military come and take me. In my country, military is a must, so I have to choose either go to the military or go to college, learn a program on their money, and then join the military and work in what I have learned in college for 3 years, and then I'm free. So I've chose military. Why? Because I hated everything that included math and physics, and the military programs in college only consisted of engineering, and they told me engineering needed math and physics. Back then, I didn't even know what is engineering, and it is totally not only math and physics. So I chose military, and in those few months, something changed really. I got back to video games because I had a lot of free time. And when I got back to video games, I've actually wanted to understand how video games are built and how they interact with us, how I can press on my keyboard and the character move in the game, how everything connect together, the monitor, the PC, the keyboard, the mouse, everything. I wanted to know everything about this. And I felt a little bit of passion about that because I didn't only play the game and just wasted my time. Now I actually wanted to know. I had some curiosity about the video games. And in that time, something clicked in me where I've actually felt that I'm doing something that I'm loving. So before a month from my military enlist, I've canceled the enlist and signed for a college program that consisted of many engineering subjects where I chose electronics as my subject. And in that time, everything has changed for me. And the reason why I told you all of this is because you may be on the same journey or on the same door where you have two options to choose from. If you feel lost, just know this: avoiding discomfort won't move you forward, but facing it might. At our first semester in college, I got slapped straight to my face for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that the language that were taught in lectures I didn't speak, and that sent me back a lot. While others will already finished all those lectures or sections, I was stuck in trying to translate them and understand the main points of those lectures or questions that I didn't also understand. And that wasted a lot of time, actually. I was literally just grabbing my phone, putting it on record, putting it on the desk, and just listen to the lecture not understanding anything, getting home, then listening to that record, translating word by word, trying to understand the main point of the lectures. Then, after that, I was trying to solve the questions that were in those lectures. But please, make me a favor. Learn the language that is taught in the college that you are pursuing. Please. The second reason is that the materials that were taught in lectures, at first, when I first grasped it, I found it really, really difficult. Because in high school, I wasn't on the topper classes while they learned electronics already or physics and things. I was really in the medium classes where we learned basic things and basic physics. We didn't really got deep in that. While physics is really, really required in engineering, I wasn't that good in physics at first. And I found it pretty difficult to get all of those materials in a single lectures at our first semesters. But don't worry, with time, you're gonna just get regular with this. You're gonna know how the situation and know the technique to grasp a lot of informations. And a lot of study methods really helped me, like the Pomodoro technique, while I study for a couple of time and then take rests, study for a couple of time, take rests, and repeat, repeat. That really helped me. And focus techniques always will help you too. So make sure that first of all, you're gonna learn how to learn, not learn without knowing how to learn. And the final reason that set me back a lot actually at first in college is that I didn't know how to network with others properly. And a good excuse that I always tell myself that they don't speak my language, they are not from the same culture, they don't know me, they don't know anything, they will not connect with me, and that was a big excuse. You see, when I was in high school, I was a really loved kid. You know, I made friends pretty easily in an easy way. I just say, I just approach them, then we are already friends. We have same habits, same things. But in college, it was a different situation. One of the most important things that you should take care of once you start a new path, whether is it in college, a new program, or a new job, is your networking skills and the people around you. This thing will decide whether your journey is going to be great or bad. And me, myself, I didn't take the great amount of attention and took care of this problem at first. And this only make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Which, when I started taking care of this, it was so difficult. But at the end, I succeeded. But I can't say that I didn't miss a lot of opportunities. So please, take care of your networking and your social skills and the people around you once you start a new path, because that is going to help you a lot. You will not notice it at first, but at the end, you will see how things got a lot better when you focused on this problem. Here is what I wish I knew before I joined electronics engineering. Balance is key. You can't just focus on studying and ignore everything else. I trained, worked, and ran side hustles while studying. It was tough, but it taught me time management and discipline. Ironically, when I wasn't working, my grades and mental health actually got a lot worse. Too much free time made me lazy. Work kept me on pace and forced me to use the time I was left with wisely. Looking back, that balance and pressure played a big role in my success. Find your focus. Not every subject is going to excite you. That is normal. Find the one or two areas that ignite your passion and lean into them. I found that I loved coding and complex computer systems, and those became my focus points. Grades aren't everything. Grades can help, but they are not what define your future.
When it comes to getting a job, employers care more about your mindset, your skills, and who can vouch for you. That's why building a strong network is the key. The people around you, classmates, mentors, industry contacts, can open doors that your grades never will. Focus on learning, growing, and connecting. Those relationships are often what lead to real opportunities.
Here, what we managed to cover in our first semesters. Electricity and basic circuit theory, digital logic and truth tables, C programming for microcontrollers, Linux and command line tools, oscilloscopes, breadboards, resistors, and logic gates, and how binary signals control physical hardware. I can say that some of it was exciting, most of it wasn't, and a lot felt like abstract puzzles with no clear use. But I kept pushing, and by the end of the year, I was ranked the second in the entire program. Not because I was talented, actually, it's just because I refused to give up. When you are truly honest with yourself, the grades doesn't even matter. The thing that really matters is you understanding the system in a deep core level. And that what actually matters. If I had to describe the final year of electronics engineering in one word, I would say a total hell. This is where everything will hit you at once. From control systems, signal processing, communication systems, and a massive year long final project on top all of that. And because I believed the harder it is, the more valuable it must be, I chose one of the most ambitious projects in the entire program, a smart science ship, fully equipped with sensors, motors, shafts, and real time databases. Well, it looked amazing in my head, but in reality, it nearly broke me. Most of my strengths were in coding and power systems, but now I was dealing with motor alignment, waterproofing sensors, balancing weight structure of the ship, 3D structure designs, and physical assembly from scratch. I was Googling things that I had never even heard of before. While trying to pass my final exams, I can say that I had barely a little amount of time to sleep. And at times, I honestly thought I'd fail everything. And that is where I started to doubt my decisions and myself for taking this program. But in those hard times, the one thing that helped me is sticking to the plan and the final goal no matter what happened. And whenever I faced those big problems and I felt stuck, or the project just won't work and assignments filled my space, I took a deep breath and said to myself, trust the process and keep going. And in a matter of time, I finally found myself on the last day in college. At the beginning of this program, my time moved pretty slowly. But looking at it now, I see that it moved pretty fast. And in fact, my best moments in this entire program are those times when I struggled the most, when everything goes south on me. Those are the times that will stick in my memory the most. Let's go back to the first question that we asked in this video. Is electronics engineering for you? Well, electronics engineering taught me a lot of things, from mindset, time management, and scientific thinking, how to design things, how to look at things from a different perspective, and the most important thing that this program gave me is the engineer mindset. And in my perspective, those things are far more valuable than a job or a good salary because those things, money can buy them, and not a lot of people have them. And one of the things that I've learned is when you have things that not a lot of people have them, those things are valuable and can be traded for things that is far more valuable than money. So, is this path for you? Well, the answer is in your hands. If you are up for the challenge and willing to do things that is not easy, that will take a lot of your time to solve little things, well, this path may be for you, and it may change your life as it did to mine. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.